Are you playing mom and or dad to a grown boy? Well, stop watching if you want to remain the mommy of your grown boy. I'm here on a mission to inspire self-love, and I'm sharing my story of what financial abuse looks like in toxic relationships. This is my story, my journey to inspire self-love. So welcome to my channel. My name is Tanya Emanuel. Please like and subscribe if you're new, especially if you don't want to miss out on the toxic relationship series. I did not realize how much financial abuse I was enduring during the course of my toxic relationship until I asked for help in supporting our child. And instead of receiving support, I got verbally abused instead. Now, this was obviously never helped to a verbal abuse situation. There was a lot of red flags that I didn't see during our dating phase that should have made me realize that I was going to enter into a relationship that was not with an equal partner, even though this partner really claimed and wanted to claim and still tries to claim that it was a 50-50 relationship. The truth hurts sometimes, but the truth is that I ignored a lot of red flags. And these are some of the red flags I ignored during the dating phase that maybe you can relate with, or you can understand, or you could just to kind of help piece it together. So, as a woman in this amazing modern day, we are independent. We are working women. We work hard. We play hard. We make our own money. It's not like the old days anymore where we used to be homemakers and only stayed in the home. Now, we're also homemakers, raising children, and helping support the families that we have brought into the world, created, and desired in life. Well, at least I know I did. I desired to be a wife, desired to be a mom, desired to have a happy family, to contribute, to help with the family dream and idea and the fantasy that I had of that little girl dream of having the perfect family, right? Well, because of the new modern woman and being so independent, I did also participate with the red flags that I didn't see when I was younger and, during the dating phase of any of these toxic relationships, right? It was definitely more than once that this situations had happened to me, but I didn't realize how bad it was until that verbal abuse happened and I wasn't getting the support I needed from my partner at the time. So a couple of the red flags was one, always being the driver. I know, financial abuse, right? How is this driving tie in hands with that? Well, that was my gas tank. I was driving all the time, everywhere, filling the gas, never receiving help for that. In the dating scene, in the dating part of life, okay? Another thing I used to do during the dating field, dating phase, it's phase, not field. During the dating phase was I would always offer to pay for our meals together, or to, go Dutch, where you pay for your half and they pay for their half. And then basically I'm just going to dinner with a friend because I'm paying for myself while they're paying for themselves. But here I am in this fantasy land, desiring love, companion, providing man that's masculine, loving, compassionate, someone that would help make me feel safe. But instead, I was seeking out and feeding into a grown boy. This continues on, right? It doesn't seem like a big deal until you enter a serious commitment. In my situation, I did choose to make it a legal thing and got legally tied to this person. And I'm not here to, talk poorly about this person, because as you'll see I'm here for a mission. I'm here on a journey, a healing journey. But all that stuff I let slide by during the first few years of our relationship, the first few years of our marriage, was just like I was blind. I was just blinded by love during this time that I didn't realize that by me always being the one that was driving and paying for my half and not hit, and maybe sometimes not his half, or paying for all of our halves, you know, by me constantly putting down more than what they were putting down, by me constantly willingly taking on more financial responsibility as a partnership, you know, like a lot of times when people enter relationships, they come to financial agreements, and we never really did that, right? It was always, this is your money and this is my money. But then when it came down to it, to buy home groceries, to buy home cleaning supplies, to buy, you know, cleaning supplies, toilet paper, toothbrushes, face cleansers, you know, not only as a woman is it more expensive to just live life. And like, what do I mean by that, right? So like, as a woman, like, we like to take care of ourselves, get our nails done. Well, at least you should like to get your nails done, whether you buy it, pay for it, or do it at home yourself. You know, we also require, like, I'm just gonna say it, ladies, menstruation, the gift of life that we get to experience, hopefully, if you desire, right? That gift of being able to make life costs money, babes. It costs money. You know, every month we're blessed with the period of anti-flow to come on by and let us know, woo, we are not pregnant, right? But what about the supplies that cost to maintain that? What about us as women being shamed for the natural body hair on our body? You know, I will admit, it feels nice though, doesn't it, to be soft and to be shaven. I did participate in No Shave November, ladies, and anyone watching, but I did participate in No Shave November because even though I don't have a set of my own man, like my own man to care about men's health, I do have overall care for men's health. So that is one way I like to do it, and plus it's cold, I have no one. Plus, even if I had no one, I won't be shaving in November, just so you know. Okay, anyway, totally different topic there, but face routines, obviously flossing, everybody should be flossing and brushing their teeth, right? Like, women just require more when it comes to taking care of our bodies and taking ourselves. Like, baseline, it's more expensive to be a woman. Hair products, styling products, makeup, you know, all these things that most men do not require, do not need. Most of them might be like, I'm not gonna get my toes done, I'm not gonna get a pedicure, I'm not gonna do all these girly things that you women like to do, right? So that right there means that us as women do require additional support for our own health and maintenance. And to be quite honest, that's okay, because we are women, right? We are the female, womanly, motherly women of the world, right? Like, without women, there would be no childbirth. Without childbirth, the world would cease to exist. And yes, I'm not taking away from the masculine man side, that is required. But we have forgotten, ladies, we have forgotten that these men were created to help provide and to take care of us women. It's hard because as an independent woman, I know I used to want to feel like, oh, I got this. Oh, I don't need your money. And truth is, I don't need your money. I don't need his money, right? Because that was always the claim. The truth is I now love myself enough to realize that I was being manipulated, gaslit, and told to be crazy, and a whole bunch of other really ugly, bad, verbally abusive things, simply for asking the man that helped bring in the child to provide for that child, to step up and financially support the life he willingly chose to bring into this world with me. It hurts to know that the love that we shared, enough to like say, hey, let's do this, I really want to have a child with you, didn't mean the same to this other person than it did to me. when we began the relationship more legally and seriously, I quickly offered up the insurance plans on my behalf, right? Because I'm a wife. Like, that's what we're supposed to do. Let's combine. Let's be a team. Let's win together, right? Yeah, no. So, in most relationships, people split things evenly, right? So, if we were going to be 50-50, I should have been helping some half of that insurance money, right? Before the legal action and event took place, they were supporting and paying for their own health insurance through their own means at work. Yet when I picked it up to be supportive so we could both save money, because it is a deal usually, right, to like bundle up and have insurance together as a family plan, right? So instead of being like, oh, now I'm not paying it, let me help my new wife with this and say, hey, I should help with half of this bill. Nope. Didn't even occur to me until years later into the marriage that I wasn't getting reimbursed for what should have been a 50-50 part of the relationship, right? I mean, we're talking, we 50-50 everything. Car insurance, rent, not health insurance, not that one. Groceries, we 50-50, although, to be quite frank, I bought more groceries. And this is why I was talking about women being more expensive. I bought cleaning supplies because I was the cleaner. I bought toothpaste because I was the responsible one refilling the household supplies. I was the one purchasing the toilet paper. While I was being a mommy to this grown boy and allowing him to take advantage of me, I lost myself. I was becoming insane. Now, this story is about my healing journey, and I'm here to help bring awareness to this situation, because step one is always awareness, right? Always, in every sense, for everything. Awareness is like number one step. Sometimes it's so number one that people don't even talk about it sometimes, right? It took me asking healthy, masculine men that were providers for their families, stepping aside and saying, hey, I know that you help support your family and you have several children and your wife stays at home doing the difficult work it is and takes to be a stay-at-home mom. That is a 50-50 reciprocal relationship when one person stays home and takes care of the home and the children and the other person provides. That is a 50-50 relationship. That is a female and masculine duality. It's hard when you have to ask a healthy male, am I wrong? Like, am I wrong to ask the father of my child to support my child? Is it wrong of me to be asking for what to me I thought was like a basic parenting thing? At this time, I think my daughter was like a year and a half old. At least, yeah, about a year and a half. And I'm pretty certain that the most my partner at the time had contributed to the cost of our daughter was maybe like one box of diapers from Costco, $50, right? 45, $50. The car seat was the most expensive thing he helped buy, $300-ish. And that came from his pocket. Like, wow, what a big expense there. The biggest, like I said. And probably about 5 outfits in the first year and a half of my daughter's life. He never helped buy formula. He didn't go through nursing and pumping. Didn't help me pay for any pumping supplies, breast pump supplies, breast milk supplies, bottles and bags for storage. I was doing that all by myself while being in a 50-50 relationship. It took a healthy, masculine provider man to tell me, no, Tanya, you're not asking too much to ask for someone to help support the life that they brought into this world. I see now how much of a disservice I did to both myself and my partner at that time. because it only continued to escalate. I mean, shit, we're still going through it. A year later, post-divorce, let me tell you, financial abuse, it lasts a while. So, these are some of my tips I was going on. Number one, it's always awareness. Number two, sometimes you need to ask someone that's sane when you're feeling insane on if you're being abused. It's safe to talk to safe people. If people make you feel like you're not allowed to ask other people, it's probably because they're being abusive towards you and don't want you to find out. All right. So once we've found this out, we have to take the really hard step of accepting that truth. Now, accepting it can be difficult, of course. A lot of people like to visit the denial. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm not talking about denial river. I'm talking about like the denial way of life, right? I know I liked it. I was in denial all the time. Until finally I couldn't anymore, right? It was either I was going to die inside or I had to figure it out. Like, this is literally where I got led. After being in a toxic relationship for 6 years, I started waking up when I asked for support with our child after we had been living separated for 4 months. So for 4 months, this partner just stopped helping pay for everything. Didn't help with rent. So thank God I didn't have this like pricey rental apartment where I would have been stuck with the whole bill even if both of our names were on it. He stopped paying for insurance. He stopped helping buy any groceries, any food for our child. Never really helped with diapers or clothing or toys for our child. And so finally it dawned on me, like, why am I the only one supporting my babe? Right? I mean, of course I'm going to support my child. I am a mother. I am a strong, independent woman that always helped in this relationship. So of course, I'm going to do the right thing and provide for my child, whether or not I'm getting support or not, right? Because as a mother, you're going to feed your child, you're going to clothe your child, you're going to help provide good experiences for your child, and toys and love and laughter and fun, because at the end of the day, I'm here to help raise a healthy young little person to be a strong, independent woman that loves herself, values herself, and has enough self-worth to not allow toxicity to enter life. At least I hope, right? That's all I can hope. And the only way I can do that is by starting myself, by making sure I myself am leading by example. And boy, is it hard sometimes. Especially because step 3, you gotta forgive. Forgiveness. Forgive yourself for not knowing better. Forgive yourself for allowing whatever it is that's going on for you. I shared what it was like for me. Forgive yourself for wanting to be more of a masculine role in a relationship than embracing the femininity. I forgive myself for all the bad stuff I did in the relationship too. Obviously, it was not a one-way street. It's always a two-way street, right? I taught him that it was okay for him to abuse me financially. And a couple other things too, but stay tuned for the Toxic Relationship series. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you can not miss out on the series. I forgive myself for allowing myself to be financially abused when I didn't know any better. I mean, it gets even harder, right? And then I forgive you for financially abusing me as long as you did. I forgive you. And by forgiving you, and by being here and speaking my truth and hopefully bringing some awareness to some other people in life, some other women warriors that are struggling through the darkness of a toxic relationship without loving themselves, without loving yourself enough. Woman warrior, you are not alone. Forgiving them and forgiving yourself is so hard to do. But it's worth it so that you can release it and let go. During our separation, divorce, mediation, all that jazz, before, after, there were some things in the financial realms, some things I had always wanted. I personally had asked for a prenup prior to our marriage. Should have known then, when I got told, that's absolutely ridiculous and absurd. How dare you ask me for a prenup? If we were ever to get divorced, I won't go after your retirements. And blindly, I loved and I listened. I allowed myself to be manipulated. Went ahead and moved forward with this situation. During our unfortunate separation and difficult journey to obtain the end of it, we had come to some agreements on some past owed taxes. And the agreements were said, they were done. You know, we owed about like $1,200 in taxes of the year that before the divorce happened. And we mutually agreed to pay our own half of said taxes. Remember how we're talking about financial abuse here, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm responsible to do my taxes. I did try to control the situation a little bit, right? Like any person kind of does, especially like, I don't know if I've mentioned it in my toxic series, but I'm codependent. Didn't realize it until I left my codependent toxic relationship, right? And so I allowed myself to be abused, being codependent in this situation. And I really thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was loving them more by providing more than I should have for my feminine role in this relationship. The reciprocity was not there for the amount of love and financial support I was attempting to give. And I was doing us a disservice, right? So the financial abuse continues on, where I tried to not file my taxes right away for the following year post-divorce, knowing that I was probably end up going to have to pay for his half of the taxes, even though we agreed. But we agreed on a lot of things that didn't work out, right? So hey, why am I trying to have any expectations? That is like the number one killer of like almost all relationships, right? It's not about having expectations. It's about having mutual agreements with healthy people that show you by their behaviors that what they're saying is matching their behavior, and thus aligning them to be who they're really trying to tell you and show you that they're being. Now, when they are telling you one thing, but they are showing you another, those things are not lined up, and they are showing you with their actions a lot more than what they are saying with their words. Now, we're not going to go into the whole emotional, mental abuse part of it, right? The gaslighting and all that stuff that occurs in these types of toxic relationships. That will be saved for another video. But it's there, right? So by stepping outside of my feminine role and trying to be more masculine in this relationship, we started to butt heads a lot. Not knowing I was doing us a disservice by adding masculine energy instead of feminine energy to our relationship. And that's a whole nother thing too. But a man was created to be a man and to be the provider. We are in a discouraging time as a females like, if you understand what I'm talking about, that a lot of men don't want to be provider men anymore. They want to be grown boys. And that means they want someone to cook for them, clean for them, do their laundry, do their dishes, and, whenever they want, and to, let's just open wide and please me, please me, please me. Let me take. But then let me tear you down so that you don't go anywhere and you continue on my agenda. Now, I'm not saying all men are like this, but this is the type of grown boy, because a man does not behave this way. This is the type of grown boy that I have always gone for in my life. Up until, it hurts to admit it, up until a couple of months ago, when I decided it was time to really inspire self-love, to make my mission go even deeper by taking my own personal pledge to find what makes me happy, to find what ignites my soul, to find my passion, to be my authentic self. So today I'm releasing the financial abuse of this situation. I'm releasing it because I got a little off topic, but bringing it back. Because today I found out that I in fact did get to pay the other half of the taxes that wasn't my responsibility to pay. I get it. I have no control. The government, the IRS, they just want their money. They don't honor divorce decrees like other institutions will. So if you're being financially abused, stick around, because I have some tips if you're going through something like this and are going through a divorce soon or on the horizon or are. I got some tips for you. But yeah, so here I am thankful. That the owed money came out of my tax return. Not because I lost the money, right? I'm not thankful for being out $600-ish, because that could always be useful. It could always be helpful. It could be $600 I could use for a trip for my daughter and I, for diapers, for toys. I mean, Christmas is right around the corner, right? Let alone bills. Don't we all got bills, right? But I'm thankful because the truth of the situation has come out yet again. The truth of the lies and the deception and the manipulation has come out yet again. It's cool though. You know why? Because I forgive him. I forgive him for being who he is. I accept him for being who he is. Because now I finally know the truth. It took a hard, long 6 years to see that truth, and a really long year to end that situationship. But I'm learning to let it go. I'm releasing and I'm being thankful today because this is the last financial mix-up we have together that's not our daughter. And to be frank, I can't have very many high expectations. Not really sure or expect to be paid back anytime soon. And that's why I'm on this mission, to inspire self-love, to not have to rely on child support to maintain my child. This is why I'm fighting for my freedom, my choice, having my voice, sharing with you my experience of what financial abuse looks like in a relationship. It doesn't have to be your partner opening up a credit card in your name and maxing it out. It doesn't have to be fraud from your partner in whatever other way. It doesn't have to be them taking your whole paycheck, which that is totally financial abuse, right? It doesn't have to be them withholding all the finances and holding all the money against you and not giving you money to buy necessities, right? You deserve to pay for family household utilities if you're gonna be the payer, tracking, helping, if you're gonna be buying groceries. Your children deserve to have food, shelter, clothing. These are our basic human rights. And when you're in a marriage that's 50-50 and a happy, healthy marriage, you guys support each other and you are a team together through the hard times and the good times. Not always trying to see how you can get out of paying your part of the bill. Or like me, right? Paying the whole bill all the time. Like, that is not healthy. So I'm releasing it because it doesn't serve me anymore. To be resentful, to be sad, to be depressed, to be filled with this anxiety and PTSD of, why did I choose so poorly by willingly entering a relationship with a grown boy that proved time and time again that he was not my equal and continues to prove it. So, because the next step, you have to learn to love again. Now, do not get me wrong. First of all, I mean, love yourself, because we didn't know what we didn't know. I mean, I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know I was being financially abused. I didn't know. I mean, like, in a way I knew, right? But I was so blinded, looking through the veil. That I thought I was loving this person by doing so much for them. But like I said, it was a disservice, right? So I'm loving myself through the awareness, the acceptance, the forgiving, the releasing, because I am a valuable, worthy woman, capable of love, capable of finding a healthy partner once I do some more work on myself, right? That's why I'm on a mission to inspire self-love. God will provide that healthy masculine love that I will require again, that I require, that I need, that I want. I don't really need it. I want it. It's a life desire. We as humans, we're created to be in pairs, right? We desire companionship. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to love the other person is now where it gets a little tricky, right? But that's the goal. I'm not here to talk poorly about this person. Like I said, I forgive him. I love him. I'm releasing him. Admittedly, it's taking me a lot longer than I wish to admit about the releasing factor, because it was such a traumatic time together. 6 years of ups and downs, and with a lot of downs, it's hard to let go. 2 years separated. Really today. He moved out 2 years ago today. And today I found out last year that I was officially divorced. Yesterday. And God's timing couldn't have been better. So, because I choose to love him and love myself first, right? I now have set up and will hold him and everyone around me more accountable and hold healthy boundaries that I am learning to place, to set, because I used to let people walk all over me. Because I used to see how I could serve you. How can I serve you? Oh, you need this? Yes. Oh, you want that? Okay. Oh, sure. You want to think that? Great. Sign me right up to, let you gaslight me and walk all over me and manipulate me. Because I didn't love myself. I didn't have self-worth. I believed in some small, sick, twisted way that I deserved all those things that I was receiving from my partner. Which, I'm going to let you in on a secret. I didn't, but it's made me who I am today. And so that's okay. So in this situation, I'm holding this person accountable to pay their part of the taxes that was defined in all of our communications during the separation and finalization of the ending of our relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is the denial, the flat out lies, the gaslighting, the manipulation that they're still trying to pull on me today. So there's things called paperwork that you receive when you make big payments, or when the IRS takes things from you, from taxes that you did pay and that they were going to pay you back. I have correspondence that says that my return was negatively impacted by the past owed taxes that this person didn't pay. So now I received less in my tax return. Now I want to make it perfectly clear. I'm thankful that I got to pay the taxes out of my tax return and not straight out of my pocket. Because I did try to mediate it. I knew this was going to happen. I did try to put that and the child support that was owed in towards saving my retirement, right? But I kept every end of the deal because my word means something to me. I have honor. I choose to be a trustworthy woman. So all the things I said that I would give up in the end of the relationship, I did. Like giving away the car I paid off and keeping the freaking $20,000 loan. I ended up giving away me eating part of my retirement, even though I didn't really want to let it go. Because like he didn't really contribute ever to any of the retirements or my HSA that I also had to fork out half of by paying a freaking failed rehab attempt. Like, talk about ugliness at its core. And so at the end of the day, I have now completed all of the financial and then some responsibilities as a wife to this person than I ever needed to do. And the part that hurts, I don't know if hurts is the word, but like I was really trying and hoping that I could trust this person again until I saw their message today that just solidified that it's not changing. People don't change unless they want to, right? So why do I think there's any change on that side? Instead of owning up to the fact that this person chose to not pay their part of the taxes, literally, oh my God, literally was like, look at this statement. It's been paid. Yeah, it's been paid by me. See this statement right here that shows you that the amount that you said got paid came out of my tax return? Ay, Dios mío, ayúdame, por favor. Lies, deception, manipulation. Guess what? I almost was like, why should I put it in the app? Yeah, because we talked through it. Our Family Wizard. Totally recommend it. Best thing ever. It's like legal binding documentation you can print off if you ever have to go to court. Yeah, it's worth the investment. You can also CC a lawyer if you need to or want to. Yeah, it's been awesome. So, put it in the app, just like how we agreed to in the event that I got charged the past owed taxes per conversations in like last year January, last year in like June or July, after divorce, like back in August, like back before, after the divorce ended, like all of it. We agreed to something. And instead of being a man and providing his part of his life, of his part of the relationship, honoring his own word and agreements, he's just pretending like it didn't happen. That it just magically got paid off. Because you freaking know if you paid off $600 to the IRS. You know if you put that money out of your pocket. So I'm calling out the bullshit and speaking my truth so that hopefully this story can bring some awareness to you, woman warrior. Now, I'm choosing to love him and keeping him accountable for that. Because when you love somebody, you have to do hard things. I fully accept this person for who they are at this point because it's only easier that way to accept them for who they are, which they choose to continually prove the true colors of their nature, which, I mean, after 7 years of being together, you know? Good luck to the new one. And so I'm loving myself. Finally. Enough. I'm releasing. I'm forgiving. I'm accepting. And I hope I'm bringing awareness So, a few tips for you tonight, Women Warrior. If any of this sounds familiar, if you're in your own toxic situation, considering your way out, whatever. I have all sorts of advice for legal divorcing, documenting stuff, which is part of it right now, my tips. Track stuff. Track things. Are you equally contributing to the finances if you're quote unquote being a 50-50% relationship? That's an agreement to record and document those things. Record and document the expenses that should be shared family expenses, especially if you are paying for more. 100% if you are living together and start separately living together. I didn't know this, but child support is supposed to begin the month that you stop living together. Child support is not dependent on your relationship status. It is called child support. You are supporting the child that you brought into this world. If you're a man here and you're listening to, supporting your child that you brought into this world is what child support is for. Okay? Flat out, period, blank, no excuses, and it is your responsibility as a mother and a father to help provide for your child. Anytime you have sex, in case no one let you know, you could get pregnant and you could bring a child in. So why don't you be a little more responsible with who you're opening up your legs to? Because I selfishly brought my daughter into this world with this toxic person because I didn't love myself enough. Of course, I would never go back. I love my daughter. She is the biggest gift I could have received from this most toxic relationship I've ever been in. And what a blessing that she came along. Because to be honest, I might still be there if she didn't come along. It's not that I stopped loving him. It's that I was forced to survive, forced to be in survival mode. My needs were not being met emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. There was no intimacy anymore. Before we separated, it was like we were two roommates. We hardly exchanged words. Sometimes that you're in a bad situation, and it's hard and scary to leave. And so document the bad stuff. Document the bad stuff. Journal. Write it down. Sometimes I look back at some of the few journal articles I did write, or not articles, but journal entries I did during some of the dark days. And looking back, why did I ever get married? Because I didn't love myself. I didn't think I deserved any better. I, in some ways, felt I deserved to be abused emotionally. Abused verbally, mentally, emotionally. That's there, right? So, I know this was a really heavy topic tonight, but toxic relationships are heavy. Oh my gosh. It feels like this weight just burying you and washing over you and holding you down. And I will be truthful. They know. My partner in this situation knew that he was a ball and chain dragging me down to the Davy Jones locker. He knew. He accepted it. He admitted it. He let me know before the divorce was finalized. He knew. So, it's so hard to break out of these negative cycles. Join me, Woman Warrior, for my 3-day Inspire Self-Love Challenge coming up December 15, 16, and 17. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm a working full-time mom, single mom. So yeah, it's going to be in the after hours, ladies. So if you're a full-time single mom in a toxic relationship, or just a full-time working mom or woman in toxic relationships, in a toxic situationship, join me because I'm on a mission to break negative cycles so I can inspire self-love within myself and others so that I can live my most joyful and authentic life. And I hope that you'll join me because you're worthy and deserving of living your most joyful, authentic life. You can start 2024 off with the new way of being, or the intention, desire to inspire self-love. Woman warrior, you're not alone. Let's make 2024 great. Let's make 2024 the year that you prioritize yourself, break out of negative cycles, and take time to inspire self-love. Because you are worth it. You are loved. Click the link below to sign up for the free 3-day Inspire Self-Love Challenge. You don't want to miss it, because I got exciting things to share at the challenge that's going to start the first week of the new year. Because we are not going back, women. We are in a healing journey. We are going to be overcomers. We are strong. We are independent. We are women. And we are amazing. We're loved, worthy, and we deserve to live our most joyful and authentic life. I hope that you'll join me, and stay tuned for more Toxic Relationship series.